Okay, calling the zoning hearing board for Lower Makefield Township for June 20th, 2023 to order. The first thing that needs to be mentioned is that there's 4 members of the board here right now, 3 remote and 1 in person there. So for an appeal to be approved, it has to be 3 yeas and at least 3 yeas. So that's just for reference for anybody in the room if they want to take that into consideration about whether they want to continue their appeal tonight or not. Anything you want to add to that, Adam?
Just to clarify, a tie is a no vote.
Okay. The first appeal up will be Z23-2010. So if they're in the room, can they come forward, be seated, and be sworn in? Or if they're online, can they be let in?
You're online and you're live with the board.
Hi, how are you?
Okay. Still need to be sworn in, though.
Sure.
You're
about to give will be the truth, so help me God.
I do.
Okay.
Can you identify yourself, please?
Sure. Colin Craig from Munn's Construction.
Okay. Adam, can you read the exhibits in?
Yes, we have the application as A1, the site plans as A2, the impervious surface calculations and the stormwater management small project volume control collectively as A3. Proof of publication is B1, B2, proof of posting, and B3, notice to the neighbors.
Okay. So go ahead and explain to the board what you're looking to do and go
Sure.
from there.
Certainly. So our client, the Hansberries at 44 Bedford, are looking to construct a patio cover about 16 foot by 18 foot as seen there on the site plan. The additional square footage that they're adding to their impervious would be 288 square feet. We have submitted a impervious, mitigation in the form of a dry well, proposed dry well to mitigate that additional square footage. Per the letter that one Barbara Kirk had sent over, I believe, recommending that it get down to the required 13%. We do also have a proposed dry well of that size as well, if the board would like to see that as well. So I believe the impervious was the first issue that we were addressing tonight, with the second being the building of the structure within a floodplain. After speaking with, I believe, Jim at the township, since it wasn't going to be a structure as far as with foundation and walls and insulation, that you potentially would be a little bit more receptive to this structure being a patio cover rather than a full addition into the floodplain. So yeah, we have mitigation that we would like to do for this project in order to get it done for our client. That's it.
There isn't a drawing of without what's like, this is covering something that I guess is pervious and now will be impervious, because it almost looks like you're just covering a portion of the patio.
Correct. Actually, as I believe as it sits now, the patio to the right of the proposed cover is existing where it says the word patio. And then, yes, we'd be covering a portion of that patio as well.
And adding to it patio, or would that just be like what's underneath there right now, essentially?
Underneath it would be pervious surface. I mean, either I don't know that they've fully selected that, but either a concrete or a stamped concrete.
Okay, but right now it's grass.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's where the 288 square feet comes in. Yep.
Gotcha.
Dan, do we have a clear indication of how the flood zone mapping works with this property, since it wasn't clear from the high level detail?
No, all I know is based off of the Bucks County Board of Assessment, the whole property looks like it's in the FEMA regulated floodplain. But
Okay.
for specifics, Jim would be able to clarify further.
Okay. And so is the comment accurate about, since this is not putting up a wall, this is not being considered a barrier to flood flow?
Yes, I would agree with that. I think it's an accurate assessment.
Is there,
Sorry, one more question. The well, can you explain that just one more time? You said that it sounded like you were proposing two options regarding the well.
Sure. Yeah, the first one being, I believe that's what was submitted, would be, to basically mitigate the proposed addition, the 288 square feet, in the form of a dry well, the size being 3 feet deep, 4.75 feet wide, and 8.5 feet in length. And that would mitigate, per the impervious surface breakdown calculations that's provided by your website, actually, that would mitigate the 48 cubic feet required of the addition. That would be the first, and obviously the, I'll say, preferred method from a cost standpoint, just to mitigate the additional surface that we're proposing.
okay. So I guess since you already brought it up, Adam, can you put Barbara's letter as an exhibit?
Sure. So we have a letter from Barbara Kirk, Township Solicitor, dated June 12th of 2023 that we are going to mark as T as in Tom or Township, T1. And I can basically paraphrase it a little bit, but basically the township wanted to participate in this. She has a conflict tonight, so rather than postpone the meeting, she submitted this letter, which has two conditions that the township would like, that if the variance were to be granted, the township requests a condition that stormwater management, preferably an infiltration pit, be constructed in such volume to reduce the overall net effect of impervious to the maximum coverage of 13%, subject to the review and approval of the township's engineer. And the second, that the placement of the covered patio addition be as minimally located to avoid as much of the floodplain as possible, which is difficult to ascertain from the plans submitted with the application. So we told Barbara, we didn't need her to appear since she has the conflict, but she wanted those conditions addressed by the board if possible.
Okay. Another question here, the addition is shown as being in the setback. Do they need a variance for that?
I don't believe so because it lines up with the existing nonconformity of the home, and the zoning officer confirmed that.
Okay. James, looked like you were about to say something else.
Yeah, we confirm that the entire property is in the floodplain? Because it sounded like in the letter it was trying to not build on the floodplain, but it doesn't seem like that's even possible.
Yeah, I think the placement's fine because the whole entire lot and property is in the floodplain. So
Right.
no matter where you put it, it's going to be in the floodplain. So.
So really it comes down to either the 3x, 4x, 7x8 as originally proposed, or option B, which was slightly larger.
Which is larger to account for the fact that the property is already not conforming with code. Question for the applicant. Did you consider, for instance, removing some of the existing impervious, such as narrowing down the driveway?
Yes, we did speak with the client about that. I mean, if we were going to go for the variance and, this is kind of the ideal situation as far as that goes, we wanted to explore all our options, but ask for this relief as a first stop. So, they do have, several cars that they'd like to park in their driveway. So I didn't think that was the first avenue they'd want to take. And then as far as other areas to reduce, they've already several years ago did reduce some square footage around their pool when they redid that. And the shed being a necessity for them, they don't want to get rid of the shed, so.
Comment from other board members?
I think I'm okay with it. I would like to see the the stormwater management be placed in. I mean, if we're doing all this work, ratting on this, there should be enough to cover all back to the 13%.
Okay. All right. Is there any public comment in the council room there? Okay, is there any public comment online?
There is none online at this time.
Okay, if that's the case, I believe we'll entertain a motion. Mike, do you feel up to it? You're muted.
There we go. Sorry, guys. I move to approve appeal number Z 23-2010 with the instructions of, abating down to 13% the stormwater runoff.
Subject to approval of the township engineer.
Correct.
Second that.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colin.
I did have one question as far as submitting that. Would that just be with the building application as an?
Yeah,
far-
so I'll just make because it's rejected right now, I'll just make it active again in OpenGov, and then you can just re-upload any PDF, and then once we get that, we can approve the permit.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. All right, Appeal Z 23-2011. Can you come forward if you're in the room or online? Okay.
I believe they said they'd be online tonight.
You are now live with the board.
Hello.
Can you state your name and be sworn in?
Hello. Hi, my name is Sudharani Vinakura, and I'm appealing for installing a 10 by 10.
We need your name and address, and so you can get sworn in.
I'm sorry. My name is Sudharani Vinakura, and the address is 876 Slate Hill Road.
Tom, I swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth.
Yes.
Can you spell your name for me, please?
My name is Sudharani Vinakura.
Spell that for me, please. Can you spell that for me, please?
Yeah, as in Sudharani. That's my first name. And my last name is Vinnakota.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you want to explain to the board what it is you're looking to do?
Yes, we are trying to install a shed on a 10 by 10 shed on pressure treated wood frame, as indicated in that red area. We have actually trees along the backside of the on our property line to the side and the back, and also we have trees in the front yard too. We are willing to plant more in upcoming months. we are willing to work with, we will work with the township engineer and determine what best suits for our property.
Do you have a neighbor on that side?
Yes, we do.
Have you spoken to them about the shed?
Yes, and they don't have any problem with that because previous owners used to have a playset right at that spot.
Okay.
It's between, just trying to gauge this on a map. You're between 876 and 874 is where you'd be putting the shed. Is that correct?
Yes, in that the red box that is being shown. Yes, that's a spot.
Okay.
Peter, can I mark the
Oh,
exhibits?
yes, mark the exhibits. Yes,
I just
sorry.
realized we skipped that. We got so excited there.
Okay.
Application A1, plans is A2. Again, the impervious surface, as well as the stormwater management control sheets are collectively A3. B1, proof of publication, B2, proof of posting, and B3, notice to the neighbors.
A question for Dan here. How did this end up being 24% existing 24% impervious in a 13% area when it's pretty clear that no matter how it was built, it would have had to have been more than 13%?
So I'm not sure based off of the previous permitting, but I do know a lot of the dwellings in RRP are non-conforming in terms of impervious. Because the adopted ordinance that currently exists was adopted in the 1990s. For the 13%, prior to that, there was only building coverage. So they might have, a previous homeowner might have gotten work without permits or something like that. But I don't know off the top of my head for this specific parcel, but it's not uncommon for a property in RRP to be an existing nonconformity in terms of impervious.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
Just correcting something I said earlier, it looks like it's between 876 and 554 Vickers Way. So it's the other neighbor. I looked at it incorrectly. That was a correction, sorry.
Dan, how does the floodplain relate to this? This one's not in the floodplain, is it?
No, the proposed structure is not in the floodplain.
Yep, correct. All right. If we were to ask for a dry well for this, Dan, what would the size of it be just for the shed?
A dry well or a seepage pit?
Or seepage pit, yeah.
I didn't do a calculation, but I'd be happy to work with them when they resubmit the plans for the permit, but it shouldn't be too big since it's only 100 square feet increase. I think they would only need to account for 17 cubic feet of required control volume, which is much less than, typical impervious increases.
Yeah, but they're already way over I'm just asking because they're already way over like the last applicant. Admittedly,
Sure.
This is a much smaller ask they're asking for here, but we are over, so. Rest of the board? Jim?
One other question I have is I'm just looking at from a high level here, it looks like there's a lot of trees in that area. Is there any like trimming going to be required of trees, or you're going to have to take down any trees to put the shed in that space?
No.
I don't have any other questions.
Okay. Masood or Mike?
No.
All right. Is there any public comment in the council room?
No.
Is there any public comment online?
There's no public comment online.
Would you be amenable to putting in a seepage pit to account for the increased impervious due to the shed?
Yeah.
You want me to take a crack at this one, Peter?
Sure.
Motion to allow a 10 by 10 shed with an appropriate size seepage pit through working with the permitting process of the township to confirm that size.
And the 7-foot setback.
And a 7-foot setback.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
So-
All right. Next up is appeal Z 23-2012. Are they in the room or online? Up in the room.
the room.
Okay. You can be state your names and be sworn in, and then Adam will read the exhibit in so we don't get ahead of ourselves this time.
Scott Glenny.
Linda Glenny.
We do. All right, so we have application as A1, the plans as A2, the impervious surface and stormwater sheets collectively as A3. And then as A4, we have basically A2 with some additional renderings by our own Jim Majewski, which details the infiltration trench. So that'll be A4, B1 proof of publication, B2 proof of posting, and B3 notice to the neighbors.
Okay, go ahead and explain to the board and the public what it is you're looking to do.
Our wish is to create a paper patio behind the existing addition that we built.
Can't hear.
In the backyard. have
Speak closer to the microphone.
And in the backyard have a 10-foot by 16-foot auxiliary shed. With the help of Jim today, we came up with a way to mitigate the surface calculation issue by putting in an infiltration trench as he has shown on the drawing, which I am completely willing to do.
Dan, does that offset all the new impervious?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have kind of a email that Jim wrote to the Glennies that I can read for context. So provide an infiltration trench approximately 3 by 3 by 31 in the general area sketched on the attached plan. The exact size and shape can be modified as long as you provide the volume of stormwater detention. You can either pipe one of your roof leaders into the trench and or grade the yard to channel water into the trench. You may also want to look into changing the roof leader at the front of the house to direct the water towards the road instead of to the side that would drain towards the neighbor. And then the prior appeal was granted. So effectively, the additional trench, when combined with the one that the Glennies installed last year, would make the effective impervious surface area 18%. So this
Oh,
seepage
okay.
pit in tandem with the previous one would bring it down to that 18%. So it sounds like an ideal situation.
Okay, questions from the board?
Were there any comments from the neighbors regarding putting in the shed?
Actually, one of our neighbors is here.
Yep. Do they have any comments? I can't really see.
Well, we'll deal with that in public comment, or you can do it now. All right, go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, just state your name and address and then be sworn.
Turn the mic on.
Second.
Shelley Lohan, 7 Shelley Lane. Yes. Scott showed me the plan that he just got tonight. I'm happy to see water issues between. Looks like we're gonna resolution not to have.
Can you speak closer to the mic? We can't hear you
I'm
effectively.
sorry. Is it on?
It's on.
Sorry. Yes, no, Scott just showed me the new plans. The plans I had seen before made me really concerned about the water that pools between the houses, but with this additional thing, I'm feeling comfortable working with Scott and, we talked about it, so it's great. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Other questions from the board? Any other public comment in the room?
No.
Any public comment online?
There's no public comment online.
Okay. Make a motion to approve Appeal Z23-2012 with stormwater mitigation back to an effective rate of 18%, subject to approval of the township engineer. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, next up, Appeal Z23-2013. And you could switch the graphic, Dan.
I'm slowly getting better at that.
Go ahead and state your names and be sworn in.
Chantel Sosha.
Albert Sosha.
My name is Rob McCubbin from Anthony and Sylvan Pools. Yes.
We do.
Okay, Adam, can you read the exhibits in?
I certainly can. We have the application as A1. We have the site plans as A2. We have the pool plans as A3. B1, proof of publication, B2, proof of posting, and B3, notice the neighbors.
Okay. Well, and you're familiar with the process here, so go ahead and explain what it is you're looking to do.
Okay, so yes, we are, excuse me. We are an R2 zoning district here, so we do have a max impervious surface of 18%. Being that the house was built just prior to the December 14th, 1987 cutoff for the impervious surface numbers. So currently the property sits already non-conforming at 24.3%. So basically what's existing on the property is the house, driveway, front walkway, front porch. There's a rear covered patio, a small paver patio out back, a small knee wall, and a shed. So it puts us at 4,506 square feet or 24.3%. We are looking to build, really what we're building is a spa. It's a swim spa. It's a 200 square foot swim spa. So it has 57 square feet of coping around it, about 421 square feet of deck, and our pool equipment pad at 32 square feet, which would put us at 26.1%. We do have a stormwater plan to mitigate all impervious surface over 18%. So that's all 1,562 square feet over the allowable, what is our allowable? 3,454 square feet. So that's done in the form of, if we have 2 infiltration trenches. One is located behind the pool / spa. And then there's another one further up in the yard to capture the existing paver patio. But we will be mitigating everything over the 18%.
Quick question here. Where is the equipment going? Since I don't see an equipment shed on the drawing here.
The pool equipment is going over to the, let me see. So if we're coming in Long Acre Lane, it is right on the side of the house over in that area.
So it's not a setback issue. Okay.
We do not have a setback issue with the pool.
Okay.
It's going somewhere over there. I don't have the exact location, but we will be 10 feet away.
Okay. It's hard to read the drawing when it's at 8.5 by
There's a lot.
11.
Yeah.
You see my cursor moving, sorry. It's like around here.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Sorry to cut you off.
But yeah, that will not be a setback issue. The pool is not in the setback either.
Other questions from the board?
So I'm probably just reiterating what you just explained, but basically after completing this project, you'll effectively be in a better position in terms of displacing stormwater than you were before this project, right?
Correct, yes.
21%, now it'll be 18.
It's actually currently at 24%.
24. Only I had a good memory, but yeah.
So we'd be down to 18 after all said and done, yes.
Gotcha.
Other questions from the board? Okay. Public comment in the room?
No one left.
Okay. Public comment online?
Yes, there's one public comment online.
Okay. State your name and address when you get on.
John, you are live with the board.
Hi, this is John Hartman. I live right next to the Socias at 711 Fox Hollow Drive. So their property backs up to mine. And I just want to voice support for it. They've showed me the plans and I'm in agreement with it.
John, do you solemnly swear the testimony about to give will be the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Could you repeat that, what you just said?
Yes. So I live at 711 Fox Hollow Drive. So it's right behind the Socias property. They've showed me the plans. I'm in agreement with it and in support of the project.
Okay. Thank you. Any other comment online?
There's no other comment at this time.
Okay. Any further discussion from the board? Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll take another crack here. For appeal Z232013, the oh man, installation of stormwater management down from 24% to 18%, and the installation of a spa.
That's
for
not a variance. We actually don't have to mention that. All we have to mention is the variance and any conditions we apply to the variance. You're doing good.
Thanks.
Mitigate the 26.1% proposed to 18% plans are subject to approval of the township engineer.
Yeah, with 2 infiltration trenches, I believe.
Yep. But they're allowed some flexibility to redesign. So
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much, and good luck with the pool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully the neighbor enjoys it too.
All right. Are we doing a meeting on July 3rd, or was that already canceled?
We did not cancel it. I think we wanted to wait till tonight, just make sure that we didn't have any pending business or anything like that, but I believe, and Dan can correct me if I'm wrong, that we're good to cancel. So, yeah, just need a motion to cancel would be July 3rd, because July 4th is a national holiday, as we all know.
Motion to cancel the July 3rd meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. Do we know anything about the agenda for the July 18th meeting at this point, or is that still open?
I know there's a couple off the top of my head.
Okay. So plan on a meeting on the 18th. Good. Any other business?
Just a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Happy July 4th early to everyone.
Second.
Second.
Adam can't make the motion.
I wish I could, but
Motion to motion to adjourn.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Have a good evening, everybody.
have a good
Great
one.
night, guys.
Bye.